One name gaining the worst kind of popularity all over the internet right now is Andrew Tate. The controversial TikToker has been condemned for his views all over social media for weeks now, but even so, the man refuses to budge from his opinions. The condemners, you ask? From your average Twitter user to proper celebrities, everyone's reacted to Tate's content. And for your viewing pleasure, here's what a few celebrities have to say. But before all that, let's talk about how he's just been banned. There's actually little Andrew Tate hasn't done in the name of freedom of speech, and garnering an audience of incels and a cult-like following to spread extreme misinformation and discriminatory hate may have finally caught up to him. On Friday, it was announced Andrew Tate has been banned from social media, specifically from all Meta-owned apps like Facebook and Instagram. TikTok revealed to Forbes that they're actively investigating Tate's sexist remarks, of which there are many in abundance. He's also being investigated for human trafficking and allegedly kidnapping a woman and keeping her in his home in Romania. Why then, one wonders, does his audience keep growing? Mainly consisting of pubescent and prepubescent boys only just entering society. In fact, some even claim that Tate's removal from social media is actually not a great thing, because his opinions should be challenged in the public sphere, which is an interesting take, considering Tate's views are constantly challenged in the public sphere, where they've been proven to be dangerous and harmful. If we shun the removal of such persons from the internet, aren't we part of the enabling? Meta provided the reason for his banishment from the apps, claiming that he violated the company's policies on hate speech and dangerous organizations and individuals. His Instagram, before being removed, had about 4.7 million Instagram followers. So while Meta may not be a person, here's your first famous entity reacting to Andrew Tate. But don't be fooled by these numbers, since the internet sure does love to hate him. And part of the internet is influencers and celebrities. Because of his controversial popularity, Tate's content is widely accessible to basically anyone impressionable or sad enough to submit to it. Many feel it their responsibility to shut down a person often described to be a raging homophobe and a violent misogynist. On the other hand, due to Tate's popularity, some just want to react to him and exploit the hype. Point is, it's hard to keep Tate's name off our mouths right now. One controversial moment of Tate that alarmed many and even got him booted off Twitter for a while with his tweets deleted, aka the Donald Trump treatment, has to do with the aforementioned violent misogyny. In fact, Tate, way back in 2017, when his credentials were being a Big Brother contestant, claimed that women should bear responsibility when they were raped. And would you believe that that wasn't even his first strike? In the past, he had claimed that depression wasn't real. The then 30-year-old tweeted a series of vile tweets in the midst of the Weinstein scandal, where he used a straw man argument to talk about how a man looking at you or whistling at you or asking your name isn't harassment, which isn't as bad per se, but he went on to tweet about Harvey being a creep, all while claiming that women have been exchanging sex for the opportunity for a very long time, and said that some of Harvey's victims did exactly that. So they weren't abused and have no right to say they were. Boy, that isn't even all. He then made the claim that got him suspended. He said that if you put yourself in a position to be raped, you must bear some responsibility. And this is something many people either forgot or conveniently leave out of their defense of Tate. Many influencers and podcasters have since reacted to this moment though, and call out Twitter for verifying the man now. Back then, of course, he was rarely as big a star as he is now. So most of the people calling him out were emphatic Twitter users. Matt XIV, an influencer and a popular social media figure who calls out many problematic people on his Twitter and Instagram in a decidedly formidable way, has been anti-Tate for a very long time. And they recently commented on Tate's social media ban, where they said that they were glad that Tate was banned from Instagram and that it was the right thing to do. But they they wanted to clarify their beliefs. He doesn't believe that Andrew Tate is the cause of a bigger issue, just the symptom. The cause is young boys not being taught how to process their emotions in a healthy manner. He explained that there's a self-esteem and mental health crisis running rampant among young men, and that the cause of this crisis is the same unhealthy masculinity that has fueled Andrew Tate's fame. And until we're ready to take that crisis seriously, they claim that people like Tate will keep popping up and exploiting young men in their most vulnerable moments. Surprisingly enough, Jake Paul might have explained it best. As we mentioned, there has been a lot of talk of Tate on influencer podcasts and the like. And while part of Tate's fame has to do with him calling out the Paul brothers in a challenge to beat the hell out of them, the Paul brothers dislike him a lot. On this podcast, Jake even talked about Tate and tried to understand the massive growth credited to him in the past few months or so. To him, it all came down to Andrew trying to train kids, according to Paul. He believes that young kids, young boys, who have not had healthy or adult or any sexual encounters yet are his target demographic, because these kids think that by watching Tate, they might get girls. And once reality kicks in, they realize that Tate's methods are awful at best and disgustingly predatory at worst. Now, this is all fun and games to think about, because who is actually taking this weird man who wears aviators indoors and talks about being an alpha male, even though the concept of alphas has been disproved by the very same scientist who hypothesized it, seriously? Well, turns out Jake Paul got it right on this head. It is these teenage boys and young adult men who think dominating women, both mentally and physically, is going to get them laid, who spread his message far and wide. Another interesting instance. In one instance, Tate openly claimed that when a woman is getting too overwhelming, you grab her by the neck, slap her around a little bit, lay her down, and just have sex with her. And yes, he included hand gestures. YouTuber JJ from Sidemen actually reacted to a whole compilation of Tate's beliefs, where he seemed wholly horrified at this particular clip in the video. JJ, before watching the video, actually claimed that he agreed with most of what Tate said. Not his views on women, just general motivational stuff, since Tate's whole shtick was hard work. Well, by the end of the video, JJ seemed wholly horrified and rescinded his views. And you could see him getting gradually appalled by Tate himself and trying to process all of it with incredulous laughs. He's not the only YouTuber who has reacted to Andrew Tate. He certainly wasn't the first and definitely not the last YouTuber to watch that particular compilation video either. One of TikTok's biggest skit makers, Calmecris, also reacted to the video as a whole. Now, bear in mind that these compilations have Andrew calling women a man's property if she goes out with him, saying that polyamory is okay for men but not for women, and that women prefer men who are awful to them. Chris tries to take a comic approach to the video as she tries to break down what he might mean, but it's all sarcastic, and you can tell she's wholly horrified that this man is allowed on social media at all, and as much she says herself. Now onto more ways in which JJ openly called out Tate. KSI has never shied away from calling people out, and this time was no different. Andrew Tate is a former kickboxer, and KSI openly and publicly criticized Andrew Tate's Hustler University severely. Now, Tate's Hustler University is apparently his guide to making money very quickly, and on the popular UK podcast, The Fellas, KSI admitted to being unimpressed with TikTok's enterprise. In fact, he went as far as to bring attention to CoffeeZilla's viral video essay on Tate's online course, which exposed much of its fallacies and the lies it hides behind. JJ openly said that the university and its contents look like it. He makes fun of the price tag and says that you can't be paying $50 for a Discord, and that he actually bought it to see what it would be like. But then it was so boring because Tate himself wasn't even in it. It's some random Donnie just being like, so this is what you, no charisma, 0. And that's all for this video. What do you think of Andrew Tate? Let us know in the comments down below. If you enjoyed watching the video, be sure to leave a like and share the video. video. Subscribe to the channel and turn on notifications by pressing the bell icon to get notified every time we post a new video. And we will see you next time. Thank you for watching.